Hi, my name is John and this is Hangar 37, where I'm going to do the review of the Freewing SBD-5 Dauntless dive bomber. As I start off all my videos, I just want to remind everybody to get their matchup paints. Take a piece that has both colors, in this case 2 colors, the gray and the greenish blue. I go to my local Ace Hardware. I get the Valspar sample perfect sampler cans. They're like $2 to $3, and they do a really good job matching them up. And you're going to need them somewhere down the line, either from Hangar rash or from a crash. As I went here and I was playing with this came right off. Just a little dab of glue was on here. And as I suspected, this one was so weakly put in there. I just kind of, when I was raising this, I gave it a little pull and it popped right off. So I've got the same situation. I'll be back to you after I get this whole section put together again, taken apart and re-epoxied and put together again, and we'll take it from there. Okay, I'm back, and had a little trouble with this. Can't get it to line up perfectly. I ended up knocking that pin out. These would not line up. I used a piece of reinforced hinge tape. You can't even hardly see it. Hooked everything up. We're gonna do the landing gear, and there's our flaps. You can see the tape works pretty good, it keeps it in line pretty good. That was about a 1/4 inch off, 3/16 off without anything on there. It looks pretty good, but so far so good. Had to epoxy this whole flap section in, that piece there and that piece there. That took a little bit. Okay, I'm going to call it on the wing. Outside of having to epoxy these 2 pieces in, I added a little CA onto these other ones just to give it, because they weren't going to come off without breaking something. We'll just disconnect this, and I'm going to bring up the landing gear. Okay, going to disconnect here. Okay, we will slide all of this through, and I hope you can see all this. Everything seems to line up pretty good. Go to page 12. I hope you can see this. It does give you a good listing of the bolt sizes and placement of them. That page is very good. It'll come in very useful. The rest of the manual, I don't know how useful that's going to be to you. It's just pictures. Doesn't really tell you too much. All right, let's put her together. Let's put her together. Okay. Everything seems to line up okay. So I'm gonna take a break for the night, and we'll pick this up in the morning. I'll see you then. So far, I'm real impressed with this. I touched up. I took the motor out, the simulated motor. I kind of weather it. I paint them silver, and then I dry brush it with black, and then I added some of the blue. Matches up perfectly. But what I'm using to take this canopy apart is an X-Acto knife. Make sure it's nice and sharp. A new blade. Okay. Not too bad. That's the first part. Now I'll touch up, I'll sand some of this, even out the edges, and touch up that paint. Now this back one, I'm going to do in two pieces, because I'm going to actually slide these back here and contact cement them in. And so it looks more realistic, because that's what they did, is these two slid up. Okay. Second piece is off. Now let's just get this one done here. So I'll glue these back down. There we go. Okay. Now this, there you go. See, that slides back up in there? Just trimmed it up to look nice and even. Okay. And let's see. There. Okay. So I'll clean this all up, touch it up. So actually, all in all, I think that turned out pretty good. So I'm going to take a break here. I'm going to finish cleaning this up and get that gunner glued in and everything touched up, and we'll take it from there. I'll be back to you in a bit. Okay, I'm back, and it's actually been about 3 days since our last session. After that last session, I was doing a little setup with the flaps and the motor, and found out I had a bent motor shaft and a bad servo flap on the right wing. I purchased this from Motion RC, great company. I emailed Martin over there, and he got it out the same day. I got it yesterday. Actually, I got it this morning. And so I replaced the shaft, and it wasn't very difficult to replace the servos. So I did that. And today I'm gonna try and finish this up. Also, when I was talking to Martin down there, I gave him an order for an extra canopy, which I took the pilots out and gonna use it just like for static pictures and that. I'll probably fly it without the pilots too, but I wanted to have one with the windows closed and with the canopies open. I hope you can see that. I don't know if you can see the instrument panel or not. So I'm going to have two canopies actually. So I'm going to finish this up. So I'm going to break away real quick again and get it all put together, and then we'll do a final walkthrough on it, and I'll give you my assessment of the plane and some of the suggestions of the things I did on it. So we'll take a little break, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to do a wrap up on this Freewing SBD-5 Dauntless, which I purchased from Motion RC, 2-day delivery. As you saw in the video, I did have a few problems with it, and Motion was really terrific about taking care of them. I had the parts replaced in 2 days, no delivery charge. So I buy everything I can from them. Freewing knocked it out of the park with this one again. I had some problems with it, but small things that you can take care of. If it flies nearly as good as it looks, I'll be a happy camper. This is one of the better planes in my hangar. It looks just awesome, and the paint job is awesome. The decals are awesome. A couple things I did not mention in the video is the prop. It comes with the prop on, and you want to make sure that you take it off and balance it. I had to really sand quite a bit on here to get it to balance out. The fake motor housing in here, I did do some customizing on it. Sure looks better than that glossy black. I did get 2 canopies for this. The original comes with a full canopy, and it's got pilots in. This is the second one. I took off the plastic. Be very careful with an X-Acto knife to take it off. Once you get it, just peel it off. I took the pilots out. I thought they looked really cheesy, and then I glued it back on. So we'll fly it as a ghost ship, I guess. And the original, I did take the plastic off the gunner and the pilot. Use a very sharp X-Acto knife. Take your time. So we'll put the full one back in. Want to caution you, you're going to put the antenna on. Make sure you remember it's there, because I almost turned it upside down in my plane stand. I caught it in the corner of my eye, and I thought, ooh, if I'd have done it, I'd have snapped this off. Once it's on, you won't be able to put it upside down in your plane stand. Just keep that in mind. Also, I'm using a AR8000, which is a satellite receiver. Make sure you mount them opposite of each other, 90 degrees to each other. I did do a couple little things with the paint. My pitot tube, painted that up and striped it. I thought it looks better than just that flat gray. And on the bottom side, painted those dreary green bombs. So, and the bomb holder, I think it looks good. Okay, it's not scale, and I'm going to take some flack from some of you guys, but this is my personal preference and I like it. So, all in all, on the assembly, I give it a 4. I'd give it a 4.5 if I didn't have the problems. Maybe even a 5. It went together pretty good. I make more work for myself sometimes on these with the little custom paint things I do, and with the canopy. I always make sure I take this motor out. I check all my wires and screws and all that, and that's a good practice. I think that's something that everybody should do when they get a new model. Don't take it for granted that these screws and everything are going to be mounted in there tightly. On my B-17, if you saw that, that was a good example of what you may run into. And that's a Freewing model. I mean, a good top of the line foamy, but there was a little quality problem with that. And had I flown it, I probably would have had a major problem. If you're looking for this stuff, you'll catch it before it turns into a problem and possibly a crash. So, looks 5 out of 5. I don't know about the power yet. It seems to have a lot of power. I did a taxi test out there today, and it seems to have enough power. But we'll find out on the maiden. Looks awesome. One of the best in my hangar right now. I hope it stays that way after my maiden. So, once again, this is John from Hangar 37, and I want to thank you for watching. Watch for that maiden to come hopefully within the next week or so. So I wish all you pilots out there blue skies and calm winds.